Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kemi, and if it's your first time to this channel, you are welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, you're welcome back, my darlings. That's what I call all my subscribers, darlings. All right, so we are going to be taking a look at what's going on in the United States with regards to this tariffs law. So we've gotten, I said we. Canada. I mean, Canada, it seems so close, but clearly, no, we don't share the same president. We have a different prime minister, and voting has begun we're trying to figure out who we're going to put as the new prime minister. All right, so President Trump has decided to wage war with China, and it's affecting the beauty industry. So a lot of people have had so many things to say. Interviews have been going on left, right, and center with regards tariff. At one point, it was 125% on products imported into the United States, and now I heard it's risen to 145 percentage of what's and people are losing their mind. But what is strange is that China has hit back in a way that was unprecedented. So apparently all the designers that we buy have piqued the United States interest in the high social community we're gotten from China. And China's like, you see that bag that you've been paying $25,000 for? It's actually $150 over here, and we make everything. La 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 la. So we're going to be taking a look at what people have been saying, what the streets have been saying, and I'll be giving you my commentary as we go along. Don't forget to subscribe, my darlings. Thank you so much for your support, and I hope that you enjoy. As you listen, don't hesitate to pause and also reflect on what's being said before giving your opinion in the comment section. Don't just, I love to listen to both sides of things. I like to hear what the president's mindset was when he decided to move this way. And I also like to see what the other side, the consumers are saying with regards to this product. All right, so let's get into it.
Your Chanel cosmetics, 80% are made in China and cost only $5. They just add the logo in France and charge you 10 to 40 times the price. Close your eyes. If your Chanel cosmetics says made in China, will it feel cheaper? It's not about quality, it's about brand-washing. Interesting fact, who makes Chanel cosmetics? 42% are crafted by Chinese artisans. We don't do cheap goods, we do understand luxury.
The problem is that in this scenario, to use your metaphor, the US has the bigger gun, and so China ends up having more to lose from this trade war, doesn't it? It can't sustain the loss of 15% of its export market, i.e. what you export to the US.
Not at all. China is fully prepared to fight to the very end because the world is big enough that the United States is not the totality of the market in the world. So if the United States wants to go in that direction of completely shutting itself out of the China market, be my guest.
Yeah, and China will lose the US market, which, as I've said, is 15%.
We don't care. We don't care. China has been here for 5,000 years. Most of the time, there was no United States, and we survived. Right. And if the United States wants to bully China, we will deal with the situation without the United States. And we expect to survive for another 5,000 years.
You know who is producing high-quality accessories for those luxury brands like Chanel, Estée Lauder, L'Oreal? You're saying you're the supplier behind all these beauty accessories for those big luxury brands? L'Oreal, MAC, Chanel, Bobbi Brown, and even Rosewood Hotel.
Last week we also received an order, Lois Den. Yeah, the comb like 20,000 pieces, one color.
Now show me your factory, show me the production line.
Here, this is our cutting room. So you can see the machine, here color clip, and here comb here. After cutting, we can take the color clips out. Like this. Here's our molding area. Take off the plate. After make the mold the shape, so we can glue the spring and the flower accessories.
This is like the final touch up. You have to polish and check like the
defective.
Quality control.
Here's our coating plate. On the surface, we will spray a drawing effect. Here's our painting plate. Here is one of our warehouse. Here is our material area. All the acetate board we have ordered here.
So tell me, what is this? This is like PVC or acrylic?
Acetate material. The material is eco-friendly and more durable and flexible than PVC or acrylic materials.
Okay.
It's the most expensive material.
How expensive?
For this one, for example, this one like 50 RMB one piece.
One piece, 50
Yeah,
RMB.
50 RMB.
That's the cost of it.
Yeah.
Your made in Italy Gucci, 80% come from
goodness.
Chinese factory. They just
Oh
add the
my
logo in
goodness.
Europe to make you pay the price of 10 times. Close your eyes. If your hammer says made in China, does it feel cheaper? No, that's no quality issue. It's luxury brand washing. Fun fact, the hand stitching your product, 42% are Chinese artisans. We don't do cheap, we do underrated luxury. Why pay 2,000 Europe for Parisian air? Same leather, same craft, just without the European fairy tale facts. Be a luxury rebel, you can shop on Chinese platforms such as Taobao, 1688, Tianmao, Jingdong. You can even go directly to Guangzhou, Yiwu, Quanzhou, Wenzhou to buy. Don't know how to buy, how to pay, or arrange delivery? Just PM me. GoNest to provide free shopping
Selling her
guidance and
business,
shipping
her
services
company.
for you.
Who are the suppliers behind Lululemon?
Oh
Some
my
of their
God.
yoga wears are actually from Xianglong Clothing and Hongqisheng Clothing.
my
And guess
God.
what? Both factories located in Yiwu here. And these two factories also supply clothing for Fila and Under Armour. I guess most of you know the price of Lululemon or other big brands. They sell you a legging pants for $100. And guess what? Here in these two factories, you can get them for around $5 to $6. Crazy! And what's even better?
Crazy.
The material and the craftsmanship are basically the same because they all come the same production line. See, this is why people come to China and looking for the OEM factory because they just can't get the
Oh
cheapest
my
and best
God.
quality production
OEM
there and
factory.
sell you, I don't know how much. Who are the suppliers behind the Salomon, Timberland, New Balance, Adidas, Nike, la 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 la? First, the Baocheng Factory, one of the world's largest OEM sports shoe manufacturer. It is like a Foxconn in the shoemaking industry. During its heyday, it has over 100,000 employees in just one of its factories in Dongguan. What even surprised me is that it owns an independent brand called YY Sport. It's like a distributor for sports shoes like Nike and Adidas, same as like Foot Locker in America and JD Sports in England. Second, Huajian Group. It is one of the largest OEM manufacturer for leather shoes in China. On the other hand, Huajian mainly offer the OEM service towards those big brands like Gucci, Tariffs, Coach, Calvin Klein, etc. Sounds crazy, right? Wholesalers, it's 2024 and you still don't know who are the suppliers behind Dior? Their knitwears and cardigans are from Beyond Garments from Hangzhou. Beyond Garments is also a supplier
my
behind
God,
many
they're after
luxury
Dior
brands
too.
from America and
Ooh.
Europe like Sandra, Maj, Versace. Second,
Versace.
most of the
Pause.
Dior's cosmetics.
Pause right now. Pause right now. Pause. I'm gonna check this Versace that they just called. Oh my God. If it's apparently no. Because I believe in evidence and I believe in facts. So this was bought for me by my husband on our 15th wedding anniversary. I'm not into, you can see I always wear the same white shirt, jeans, pant. I'm not into luxury like that. It's good to look at. It's good to have. I've been told, but I've never really been crazy. So he bought this for me, and okay, you can still see the box. Okay, I just want you to show that this is. It came out with its own box. He still has his paper wrapping about. This I will wear. Okay, and this is the card. So, but it's made in China. It's supposed to be made in, it says made in Italy, except that they can lie. They make it in China and tell them to say made in Italy. Can they do that? I don't know much about this, but I will be investigating. So it came with he bought me a bag as well, and I will just check. I think she kept repeating, if it says made in China, then it's them. You're getting it from them. But now, what about the products that are saying made in Italy? Are they really by Italian artisans? And if so, would you still be willing to pay so and so amount for a bag or a shoe from these things, from these companies? For me, no. I think spending, like, I almost returned this. It was an anniversary gift, and it's very disrespectful for your husband to buy you something expensive. But there are very few things that I think you should spend. You should spend great money on luxurious items, and shoes and bags is not one of them. If you're going to buy a house, it's an investment property. I don't think you should spend so much even on a car. I've been driving my car now for about 6 years, and it's fine. I'm not buying the latest vehicle for anything. I don't have the, like, there's no money in the world today. Why would I be spending that kind of money on items that you know, a good car, you need it to get you where you're going and back without polluting the environment. But that's where it stops. I would splurge. I love books. I love a good pillow. So there, I guess my luxury is, I define it differently than most people. So if you want to buy your expensive shoes and bags, please go ahead. I love perfume. I like scented oils. I could spend money on those things. So I guess it depends. I'm not judging anyone who decides to buy it, but does it make a difference to you when you see it made in Italy and you're willing to spend $4,000 and made in China? Are you willing to still spend that same amount of money or less? What do you think? How do you think this plays out? There are some crafts that I find deserve that kind of money, where you're talking about people spending thousands of hours designing the little hole on your purse. When they come out and they tell you that this cost $30,000, they're charging the hours that they spent. They know that only 20 people in the world can get that level of perfection when it comes to their craft. Are you willing to pay for that? Honestly, a laborer is worth their pay. But if you're making it a mass produced with machines and it's not, and you're using like fairly good leather and you're charging me $50,000 for this exact same thing in China, I think that is ridiculous, and they should be called out. They should be called out for that. That is just crazy. In my, like, you're not just charging, you're charging an arm and a leg. I'm not saying don't make profit. Of course, I want you to make profit. If it costs you $100 to make in China, shipping expenses, probably getting it here another $100. If you're selling it for $500 because you have staff to pay, you're paying rent for your building, you know, whatever it takes to run that business, electricity, your profit, you want to include. Go ahead, $500. But when you're $10,000 for a $200 bag, please, that is cruelty. Human cruelty, you know. But these two bags were not made in China. They wrote made in Italy. But that I'm going to investigate, because if they're going to China, because I know you can tell them in China to do anything, right? Made in America, made in this, made in that. I'll investigate that too. All right, let's get back into the video.
Group, which is also the supplier behind Lancome and Loewe. Third, 24-hour packaging technology from Shenzhen provide exquisite packaging and bags for Dior.
Exquisite packaging. Oh.
I just saw a video of this lady saying that, Lululemon, those leggings that y'all are paying $100 for, $5-6 over there. Like, it's so petty, because now the suppliers are saying, hey, y'all can just come to us directly. You ain't even got to do all that. Don't go to Alibaba. You come right to us. And those wedding bands that y'all are paying thousands of dollars for, you can get that same wedding band for $2. And he really think he's doing something with these tariffs. Like, you ain't doing nothing but just exposing yourself and exposing this country. Like, this back and forth mess that he's doing, he's just causing such a big mess. And you can tell that they're getting scared now, because now all of a sudden they are saying, hey, well, you know what? It's not going to be on electronics anymore. Not on electronics, because they saw that Apple went over there and took them phones and flew them back over here. They said, oh, not us. I hope that this is the end of the whole knockoffs conversation. Like, it's all coming from the same production line.
So the next time you think you're finna go into a Hermès, or however you say that shit, LV store, and get one of them bags, just remember China just came out and said that they've been making the bags for the U.S. Huh? What? Not the designer. Not the designer that these young people be selling their soul, their integrity, and their morals for. So you mean to tell me the bags that they overcharging in the U.S. stores like LV, Prada, Gucci, Christian Dior? Remember that shit came out just a few years ago. Yeah, them bags being made in China by the same people. by the same people. People that pay these prices. Are y'all okay right now?
China is spilling the beans on these luxury brands. Okay. But the DH girls try to tell y'all. They try to tell y'all, okay? It's the same damn thing. They are tied and through. I get it. Listen, I don't really care for these luxury brands. Y'all will be alright because people still gonna be goofy and buy y'all stuff anyway. So it really doesn't matter. But it just shows how the stuff is not worth it. Those products are not worth the price. But we knew this though. The only thing is that China has always kept it cute. Okay? People find out, but China was like, listen, we want the orders. We want the coins. We're going to keep it cute.
Yes, they were ready to take it to the grave.
Because Mr. Man want to play with the tariffs.
They're like,
oh yeah, they spilling the beans, honey.
Yeah.
Chanel. Yes. All these cosmetic brands.
Yes.
Have y'all been to Sephora lately?
No.
Foundation is like $80. But is it really? Okay. Yeah, they're spilling the beans and I'm here for it. And if you want to be goofy and spend all that money, that's on you. That is on you. But baby, it's not worth it. It's not. Okay? Thank you.
So China just spilled the beans and said all of these luxury companies, Versace, Gucci, Chanel, Nike, Burberry, Victoria's Secret, all of these companies get their shit from China and just slap a label on them. Wow. Wow. I want to know, for the girls who have been paying full price on their shit for these different brands, how does that make you feel? Are you still willing to still support these companies? Or are you now going to go and purchase it from China? Like, I want to know, because I remember there being a whole topic on TikTok about DHgate and them having fake items versus real items. Like, this is real crazy, but it's really interesting because China say, I don't give a fuck no more. We spilling all of the beans. We telling all of the stories. America, you won't win with this. All because y'all tried to play in their face. China say, we cannot be fucked with. And I love that for them. Like, whoa. Let me know what y'all gonna do. Are y'all still gonna be banned from these high-end places, or are y'all going to China websites or DHgate or whatever else is out there for you to purchase for? Let me know.
Now that China has been coming out this last few weeks or last few days all over TikTok, showing us that every luxury good that we buy, and I mean every single luxury good that we buy, are made in the same exact factory, the reals and the fake. They're all the same leathers, the same manufacturers, the same tools. Everything is made in the same place. They simply send the fake ones, they're not fake, they're real, to like DHgate, Canal Street, Santiali, and they send the real ones to Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Fendi, Prada. But they're made exactly the same. There's absolutely no difference. Now that we know this information, now it's public, I feel very vindicated. Do you guys remember when I was doing my Quiet Luxury series and how much backlash I used to get from black people because we consume the most we consume the most luxury goods out of any other ethnic group in the world, out of any group in the world. And when I would do my Quiet Luxury series, people would get so mad and I would say I'm simply telling you to save your money. If you really want to buy luxury, buy Quiet Luxury, because you will feel it on your skin. You would know you're wearing luxury. But if you're spending money buying Gucci, Fendi, Prada, you might as well go to Canal Street or Santiali or DHgate and buy them there, save your money, and use it to invest in your 401k, your stock portfolio, because the wealthy, the rich, do not wear these things. I was a personal assistant and a wardrobe cleaner for one of the most famous, probably one of the most famous, if not the famous person ever when I first got to LA, and 90% of her luxury goods were fake. And I would ask, why? But you have so much money. Why do you wear so much fake stuff? And she will say, how dumb will I be to buy the real thing when they're made from the same place, exactly the same place. So 14 years ago, I had this knowledge and I brought that knowledge over to TikTok, and you guys would, I mean, I made so many enemies. All your favorite black influencers all hated me, which is what led it to my cancellation. But I would try to tell you guys, like, yes, it's okay for you guys to watch their very luxurious life. That's fine. Or their unboxing. That's fine. But if you can't afford it, go to DHgate or go to Canal Street and go buy it, and then save your money and invest in your stock portfolio. Because I promise you, they probably can't afford it either, okay? And they're just doing this to like to be flashy, which is what the black culture is, right? It's like the more Gucci, Fendi, Prada you are, the more successful you are. But I promise you, now that we know, we have evidence that they're made exactly the same way, I feel so vindicated. I think it's because I don't know how to articulate myself well, because I'm on the spectrum or something. Like, but I always feel like everything I say is true. It's just in the moment, I don't know how to articulate myself. I will always get backlash, and 2-3 years later, I will be vindicated. This has been the story of my whole life. Like, my whole life has been like that. And I remember saying that to you guys all the time. If you really want to buy loud luxury, just buy the fake ones and save your money. And I would get so much backlash. Like, why are you walking around with a big Gucci belt doing commercials for brands who make it for 12 cents in China? And you're walking around with this being advertising for them for free. And oh my God, the backlash I would get at the time. Which another thing that I wanted to say also is because I remember when I got robbed, At the time,
Robbed?
a follower of mine, you know that I got robbed in my apartment, my high rise at the time. And I remember walking into my apartment after I got robbed. I was like, I promise you, all my actual luxury will be safe, because they don't know. Like, the people who robbed me, I knew who they were. They don't know what luxury is. They think it's the Gucci, Fendi, Prada. And I was right. They stole all my Gucci, my Fendi, my Prada, everything that was logo. And they literally moved all my Loro Piana, my Zegna, everything that was actually luxury. They moved them to the side, and they thought that it wasn't luxury. And I was so relieved, you know. And I think that's why a lot of celebrities also wear the fake stuff, because really, like, you could get robbed, and you're getting robbed for $20 or you're getting robbed for $3,000. Pick one. But I'm so happy, and I feel so vindicated that I was right all along, because I knew this information from a very famous person 14 years ago who only wore fake items, and she would say it's the same thing. I was right. I say all that to say, if you really want to feel luxurious, you want to feel glamorous, it's a feeling. Luxury is a feeling. And if you want to wear that feeling, purchase quiet luxury items, because you can actually feel it. You can feel it on your body that you're wearing luxury. Like, when I wear Loro Piana, when I wear Brunello Cucinelli, I know that I'm wearing luxury because I can feel it, even though there's no logos on it. But I would never walk around with Gucci, Fendi, Prada on my body, because I know where they're made. And I know that I'll be wearing items that could cause me to get sick, you know, and for what? For $5,000, $10,000, but they're made for $2. If I really, really want to be flashy, and I want the whole world to think I'm rich, because that's what loud luxury is. You just want people to think you're rich, you're not actually rich. Then I would go to Canal Street and go buy fake ones, or Santee Alley. Anyway, I feel so vindicated, and you guys owe me an apology.
Oh my God. Pause. I love what that girl had to say with that naked girl. Because that is true. A lot of times people don't know what true luxury is. They don't really understand that it's in the understated things. If someone comes into, like, I remember I just showed you guys Versace, whatever, but this is probably the cheapest item that hubby bought for me. What about the papers to the building? I've got stock shares. These are things that over the years, Coca-Cola shares, you know, over the years, your children can glean from this. Who's going to buy your daughter, if you send this bag to your daughter, if you give it to her as an inheritance, who's going to buy it from you? And look at how people have been fooled to buy an Hermès for such a huge amount of money. And it says that I can let my daughter inherit it. $50,000. Your daughter will inherit it and probably sell it. Not after what China has done. Not after. Now, imagine if you had put that money down on a house, or bought some shares somewhere. Well, the shares, it's terrible right now with what's been going on, right? People are also losing money. That's a different topic. But imagine if you put that money to something more substantial. And land still remains my favorite thing to advise people to invest in. But this is such an eye-opening experience. I'm grateful for whoever wants to, you know, buy these things. But for me, like, I'm thankful that he did. I remember saying, thank you, honey, but don't buy me any bags again. Because he bought some other things, I wasn't really hard on him. I was like, what makes you think I wear white every single day? He said he just wanted to buy me something ladylike because he noticed that I didn't have a really nice purse. I was like, oh. So it really touched me that he looked through my wardrobe and saw that I didn't have, and he decided to get me something that he thought. I was like, that is so sweet. But there's a reason I don't have any luxury purse, because I don't want to spend that kind of money. I don't know why people don't understand. I would rather go to a restaurant and eat something amazing with my money. You know what I mean? I would rather you bought me, take me on vacation. Let me visit a new city. You know what I mean? That is my mindset. So whenever I see people spending thousands of dollars on bags, on shoes, oh Lord, on shoes that are not even comfortable. You are not comfortable in those things. The heels are up to here, 6, 8 up. I cannot walk. What is the point? Please, there's a recession. Be careful with how you're spending your money. Please please be careful how you're spending your money. It should make you feel good at the end of the day. If you're spending your money on something, let it make you feel good at the end of the day. And please, like, I can't. $100 you can replace. You can replace. Okay, so if you lose $100, if you lose $200, $500, but $5,000, $50,000. The word is enough for the wise. I truly believe the word is enough for the wise. Okay, scam.
Y'all thinking that y'all getting stuff from Italy and everything, but it's really originally made in China. Those same set bags, y'all are like, oh, it's fake. It's made in China. Yeah, your bag is made in China too. It's just they just put some pizzazz on it and just switched it from made in China to made in Italy because they bought from these like China being the supplier. Like, oh my gosh, such a scam. This country, such a scam. So y'all paying for a name. You're not really paying for like the bag per se. Y'all think y'all are, but y'all really paying for the name because what y'all saying is fake and bootleg is actually the same bag that you're paying thousands of dollars for.
Girl, China upset. They are spilling the tea about all the fashion sources, the brands, Chanel, Dior, Louis Vuitton. They tell you get it straight from the source, girl. Search up China-made luxury items on TikTok and trust me, but they got the furniture, they got the bags, they got the shoes. I tell you, trust and believe, girl, I'm packing to carry on.
Factory in Dongguan. What even surprised me is that it's own an independent brand called YY Sport. It's like a distributor for sports shoes like Nike and Adidas, same as like Locker in America and JD Sports in England.
So I'm guessing it's safe to say that China is currently winning this trade war. And all y'all motherfuckers that be out here when I was talking about reps and retail are the same fucking thing because they're coming from the same fucking place out there in China, y'all thought I was crazy. Y'all said I was making shit up. See all those fake talking points that we've been using since the Cold War, about child labor, sweat. They don't do that shit. That's not how shit work over there. It's not. But good old American propaganda, American exceptionalism. We just think we're the best over here. The whole time we really the ones living in sweatshop. And it all got exposed to the average American when they did this TikTok shutdown. And everybody flocked to Red App, and we saw how bad we were living in poverty over here. They got high-speed rails, affordable clothes, affordable fucking food. You know what I'm saying? The affordable housing. Whole time we over here struggling in the slums. Then we over here going band for band on this trade shit. And we losing. Because they've been doing it. They've been preparing for this moment for decades, bro. They've been aligning themselves with the global south to replace our American consumerism so they could take the brunt of this bullshit, and it's working. They're literally flying goods into Vietnam in order to avoid the tariffs because and they're getting their goods brought into Vietnam and then flying them from there to China to avoid some of that tariff shit. They have the logistical supply chain and manufacturing means to take the brunt of this shit and come out on the positive end of what we can know. So America's been, bullying people for the longest. It's not working right now. Then look what they did with I Show Speed. That's how they're getting the younger generation to see like, okay, we're not that bad. They got I Show Speed to come out there to China and basically give them free promotion for like about 10 days. I think he used that 10-day visa free shopping thing that they're offering. People to come out there and just buy stuff and see China. So we're losing socially, we're losing culturally, we're losing economically. The last thing that you can do is go to war. I'm telling you, it's coming, bro. They've literally eradicated poverty. Damn, I think 90% of their population is in the middle class. But then you got Americans that'll say like, oh, well, middle class for them is like $15,000 a year. Yeah, but when their rent is like $200, you know what I'm saying? Their food is like $1. Like, what are we really doing here? You know what I'm saying? They can live a comfortable middle class life on $17,000 to $43,000 out there. Meanwhile, you got people in America making well over 6 figures and live paycheck to paycheck. See, but that's what happens when you have unchecked capitalism and you allow corporate entities and CEOs to take over and, basically suck everything dry from the middle class, aka Reagan. This is when all it started, Reagan. Meanwhile, in China, their focus is the people. This is not vouching for them or any of that. It's just noticing the stark difference in between letting corporate greed and the dollar run a country versus people who care and understand the importance of supporting the people.
Consumerism. That is it. That is exactly what it is. People, they fed the greed of people so much that we have become our own worst enemy. And I know people want to blame the government and things like that, but the consumer too is to blame. Our greed is to blame. We want this, we want this. The inability to say, no, I'm okay. The inability. So you remember I was so shocked because I was wondering, yes, they said made in Italy, but is it really made in Italy? Because I know I have people in China as well. And I've heard this rumor that sometimes this made in thing, they would imprint it like that for you because that is what they're sending abroad because they want to give you the impression that it was made in Italy, but it's in China. China will write made in Italy in China. I wonder if I can return this bag and take my money. Hey, I can't wait to share this with my hubby and all our friends. I will never, you see it? This never. I don't need any luxury item. You see, my mother always says to me, there's an African proverb that it's the thing you eat that you take to the grave. Everything else, only land that you can leave that is of value. But you see what you eat your money. That's what her motto is. Eat your money. Don't even wear your money. Don't drive your money. Eat it. Get the best food. Get the best health care. Eat the healthiest things. Take your vitamins. Splurge on those things that will enhance your physical quality of life of what you eat, the medication you take, what you drink. Spend money on that. Oh my God, I'm going to really investigate that 10-day visa free. I want to know more about it. Let me know what else you want me to investigate in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to do my research for you. Thank you so much for watching. On to the next.